once I get mine, then I know they're gonna start going out. So let
Yeah.
me go look. And I just got mine. It's still showing, it's still saying that it says we have 4 waiting. So let's see. There we are.
Right. Wow.
Yay. Okay, so
Whoa.
those should start coming in pretty soon. And when they once everybody comes in, I will welcome them, introduce you. Hi,
Yeah.
Caleb. Caleb Snell is here. He says, hi,
Yeah.
Dee Dee. Hi, Kaz.
Fine.
Hi, Steph. Hi, Chats with Chris. Hadrian. Hey, Hadrian. How you doing? Oh, thank you so much, Chris. Thank you. He says, I look beautiful. Thank you. Hi,
You
Morella.
absolutely
Welcome
do.
in. Hi,
You do.
Bree. How you doing? She says, hello, everyone. Yay, we got a good little crowd going. Don't forget to hit that like, that thumbs up button. Caleb saying hey to everybody. Hi, Zane. How you doing?
Hi, Zane.
All
Hey.
right. Everybody's coming in. Hadrian, yay. Now I'm keeping you up late. Oh, is- he's actually in California, so he's 2 hours behind me right now.
Right.
So
Okay. So
yeah,
it's 9 p.m.
it is 9,
9 p.m.
9,
Yeah.
10, 11.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, 9 p.m. Yeah. Usually he keeps me up late. He keeps me up late. He's one of the resellers I buy stuff from.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Zane,
I
thumbs
love.
up. Thank you, Zane. All righty. We have about 13 watching. That's usually where I like to kind of LOL. Yes, it's only 9 p.m. here, so it's not too bad. Exactly. All righty. So we're at a good starting point. I always like to remind our guests that don't worry about how many are in the chats because I have a really good replay beauty crew, and they are always really faithful to watch the replays. So
Mm-hmm.
that'll be good. Okay,
Okay.
Bean Beauties, hello, welcome in, welcome in. It is 11 p.m. Central Standard Time here in Texas. I have a very, very honored guest today. I have Cass from
Well,
5 Foot Nothing. Yay, she's a little nervous, so we got to go easy
sorry.
on her. But
Yeah.
she just started a channel, and a fabulous, fantastic channel it is. We are so lucky in the YouTube world to have her join us. And if you have questions, please go ahead and put them in there. Put the little hands up sign or questions and capital letters so I can catch it. And I'll go back and forth between talking with Kaz and the um, and the chats to do that. Zane says, enjoying the new camera angle, Didi. Oh, okay, thank you. I feel like it's right in my face. It's right in my face. So I'm like, um,
You look good.
thank you, thank you.
You do.
Um, Chats with Chris says I live sell overnight, so I'm always awake at this time. Okay, good, good. Hi, Stephanie, welcome in. Hi, Steph, welcome in. Okay, Cass, let's go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your channel, and then we'll come back and I'll start with some questions.
Okay. Oh goodness me, where do I start? Okay. The reason I started my channel was because I watched a YouTube video that said they were running a course of people between the ages of 18 and 55 for anybody who wanted to do a YouTube channel, start a YouTube channel. And I just thought, okay, so when you're 55, after that, what do you do? Do you just lie down and give up? You know? So I thought, right, stuff you, I'm going to start a channel.
Good for you. And how long were you thinking about starting a channel? Like how long were you pondering on it?
About a month, not
Oh,
long.
so from that video, then it popped
Yeah,
in your head, and then a
yeah,
month, and then you started. Wow,
yeah,
wow, okay. I sat on it for a long time, but a lot of mine was trying to find the right topic, trying to find the right time.
yeah.
Trying to find the courage was a lot. Kaz is referring to her very first video. That was definitely one of the questions that I had. Um, the reason that if on the thumbnail, I put on the thumbnail, are we too old to start a YouTube channel? And the reason I did that was because of her very first video. I've watched that several times because it really brings me inspiration. And it says you had said that you felt like when you were a retiree that you felt invisible, and
Yeah,
um that when you saw that statistics or that video about the YouTube world, and it just kind of prompted you to do that. And so that what kind of sparked me this whole time was, I'm like, okay, I'm curious where you're going to go with your channel. I'm curious how you're going to do it. I'm curious about, because one of the things, even though I knew I was old and it's kind of a younger crowd out that I
mm,
usually watch on YouTube and what have you, but it
yeah,
never really stopped me in my mind to want to start a channel or to think that I was too
mm,
old to start a channel. So when you
yeah,
said that, it started sparking these things of like, could that be some reasonings for some things, that why it's a little bit harder to get out there, to YouTube to push us out on the content out there and stuff like that. But
yeah.
I wanted to tell you thank you for starting your channel. I
Oh,
wanted I wanted
welcome.
everybody to know that why I picked that topic, because you brought it up in your first video. And
Yeah.
so I guess the first question is, I want to go with the the invisible part and the sparking of the first video. Can you just talk and elaborate a little bit more about that?
Yeah, the feeling of invisibility is because when you have a job or a business, people say, what do you do? And you can say, oh, I'm a bricklayer, I'm an accountant, I'm a whatever, or I run my own business, it's called whatever.
Blah blah blah.
Um, when you're retired, people say, oh, what do you do? And I just used to say, well, I write a bit, I watch a lot of movies, um, you know, that's about it, really. I
Yeah,
mean, I buy handbags. Um, do
I
you know what I
shop.
mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah. I know.
you haven't got a label on you,
Right. There's
people
not
don't
really
know
a.
what to
Yeah, it's like you have to be doing something, or in their mind, they're thinking this fantasy where you're just sitting there eating bonbons and having a good old time, and
do.
then
Yeah,
then you
they
have
do.
all the time in the world.
I know it's really sad that, I mean, when I was young, older people were respected. There was that element of them being so much wiser
Right,
because they were older. I was taught to hold the door open if an elderly person wanted to go in somewhere, to give up my seat on the train if an elderly person wanted to sit
right.
down. That doesn't happen anymore. And it's really sad. The world has just sort of pushed us to one side, as if we don't exist. So I thought, okay, I'm up for the challenge. I'll
To
give
do
it a
that.
go.
Steph says, unfortunately, what you do for a job is too much of people's identity. Yeah,
I do.
it is. My mom had always said that she works to live and not lives to work. And that
Yeah.
was always the impression that she put in my head about any job that I took or any career that I took on. So she
Mhm.
so not to make to try not to make that your identity or who you
Yeah.
are. And it really wasn't until my life took a whole different turn as far as what I was planning on doing with my life, as far as trying to grab that hold on to that. And so that's definitely one of the things. Apple Blonde, welcome in, Apple Blonde. Steph also says after 55 you don't disappear. They're saying you're never too old.
Good.
uh Not too old. We need representatives here and everywhere. Yes. I
There's sorry, but there's an interesting comment from Chats with Chris.
I was go ahead.
So,
You want to read it?
yeah, I was laid off last year, and not having a job really changed how people viewed me. It's like it was my identity. That is
Right.
exactly that.
Yes.
That 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 is exactly what it's like, you know?
Right.
Not having a title in front of your name,
Yes.
just being you. And the problem is that when people ignore you because you're not doing something fabulous, it is so demoralizing sometimes,
Yeah.
you know?
I wanted to go because Zane says the Midwest is still respectful, and I'll with
Oh, good.
the elderly or what have you, and that's what I was gonna say too. Here in Texas, and especially where I am a little bit southern part of Texas, is the fact that yeah, we are a lot more thoughtful of the elderly. Although I do see a lot younger kids who won't think about
Mm,
opening the door, what
yeah,
have you. But I still do. Like today, I went to the doctor's office and a gentleman came out, and and he lets his wife comes out, and then he let me through, and I was like, oh, thank you, and
mm.
and so that's just a normal occurrence that I have here. So I'm curious as to where you're at. Are you in a bigger city where you're at that you're not encountering that? Is it Australia? Is it
It's Australia.
Australia?
It's Australia. I mean, we're always being promoted as the young country.
Okay, okay.
It's the young people. And it isn't a young country. I mean, native Australians were here for 40,000
Right,
years
yeah,
before we arrived on the scene. So it's a very old culture, but everything is focused on the young, totally focused. For elderly people, there is nothing. I mean, you get a pass, so you can go on the train for $2.40. That's it.
that's it, yeah.
That's what you get. You know, it's just like a
And
token. There you go. You know,
so do you think do you think it's like the people, like, I guess my generation or maybe a little younger, they're just not teaching their kids, to respect, to respect.
I,
That to
I,
me,
I,
that's just a general
yeah,
respect kind of thing, not even just to elderly, but to anybody,
general. Yeah, totally. I mean, there's very little tolerance here as well.
Okay, okay.
There's a lot of homophobia, which just totally incenses me. I mean, why? You
Right,
know? I mean, I don't get it. The number of people that I've tried to talk to and say, so what's your problem? You
right.
know, why do you find, gay people, uh, uh, you know, what's wrong with being gay? Tell me, give me a reason.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever got one. It's just like, oh, well, I just don't like them.
I just I just feel
Huh?
like that. I don't like it. Yeah.
Oh, that is just so not good enough. It really isn't. So many of my friends, well, I mean, I've worked in the theatre nearly all my life, so I would say 50% of people in theatre are gay or,
You're
you
right.
know,
Yeah.
and there's a great lack of tolerance here. People are very sort of blinkered, you know.
On there. Yeah. And
It's
I
a bit,
think, yeah, where we're at, it's probably like maybe half and half, or maybe, you know, there I don't know. I mean, it's there's a little bit of both, on the sides.
yeah,
A lot of times it's like you're respectful of it, but they may not agree with it, but then
yeah,
they're not nasty to the people, which is fine. It's like if you don't agree
yeah,
with it, that's okay, but you don't doesn't mean it gives you the right to to be ugly to the people and say ugly things. And
yeah,
one of the things that Steph says is ageism is one of the most insidious and enduring issues. Yeah, it's like there's two. I always say there's still two things that you can politically uh be politically incorrect about and not have a have issues, and that's when you're saying stuff about old people or you're saying stuff about fat people, you know, that those two things are still like okay, and they're not, it's not like a bad thing, you know. And so it's like sometimes, like with me, it ends up being both, but I'm usually pretty lucky, knock on wood, which is one of my fears when we're talking about, you know, you want to go your star, your true stars fire. I don't want to get that much bigger because I want to get to that 1,010 mark, but I'm really afraid to get any much bigger because I don't want to be attacked or anything. Right now, I don't have to deal with that. So that's one
Yeah,
of the things that I don't want to have to deal with, you know, because I'm not
yeah.
very good. I'm not very good at keeping my mouth quiet when I'm being attacked. Zane says that's why representing yourself is very important by making yourself visible to the world and you're seen. Yeah. Birkin boy
So
Craig, hi, welcome in. He says hello to 5 foot nothing and me.
I
Bree, let me see if anybody else has snuck in. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Craig. Thank you. It's a little sneak peek of my new studio. I'm in my new YouTube studio. It's not done yet, but this part is. This part is.
I noticed the shelves behind you. It's
Yeah.
looking good. It
Thank you.
is looking
Thank
good.
you. So yeah, I'll have a video coming soon with hopefully a little bit more of a reveal. And but it is it is a colder, the coldest, almost the second coldest room in the in our house. So I have to make sure I have my little blanket all the time.
Yeah, I've got a blanket over me as well. It's really cold in Sydney.
Oh, really? Right now? Oh, that's right,
Yeah,
because it's y'all's winter right now,
it's
right?
winter. Yeah,
That's right. See, that is so strange to me. I mean, and I love that. I love that. Although the designers and the fashion houses do not do seasons with y'all to y'all seasons. They just do the seasons that are normal,
yeah.
right? So I bet that's hard shopping for.
It is. We're always a season behind
Yeah.
everybody else. Always.
Wow, yeah. I know like I grew up, I mean, when my mom being in Texas, it's never really cold here. So you're always looking for shorts and you can never find shorts, you know. So then she would always have to pre-buy when we were kids and hope, okay, you better not gain any weight or you better not lose any weight because next year
Yeah,
you're wearing these whether you want to or not. So because you buy off season because we kind of have the same thing. We have the same seasons. We're not opposite, you know, like you are, but our
yeah.
weather is not the same. It's not the same. So I want to know, how are you doing now that you how long have you been on YouTube now?
Um. Oh goodness me! I started on the 1st of April.
Okay, April, May.
April Fool's Day. I thought it was an appropriate day to start. No,
And
really.
you like
Yeah,
that. So
yeah,
you're a little bit over a month. So about
yeah.
6 weeks
Nearly,
maybe?
nearly 2 months.
2 months, 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay. So now with the challenges that you were into the to YouTube with, how are you doing with those challenges? How are you feeling about that now?
Um, I'm better at talking to a camera than
Okay.
I was. I mean, I actually trained as an actress. Which it's more politically correct to say an
But
actor now.
I understand, right? Yeah.
Um, and and I thought that's what I was going to do after I lost, the whole dancing thing, as I was explaining to you earlier. Um, and I got my first part. I walked on stage, made the fatal mistake of turning, looking at the audience, and just froze and realised that I get horrendous stage fright. And I've never been on stage since.
Ever since.
So I just retreated backstage, and that's where I've been all my life. So to face a camera, to be suddenly, front and center stage to other people, oh, the first week was horrific, really. I was so nervous, so nervous.
You
It,
did
I,
you did
I
very
think
good. Excuse me?
I'm nervous now because it's
You're ner
live, 'cause I can't edit
You can't
the back.
edit it out, which I actually kinda like. I like that because 'cause I'm like, "You know what? It is what it is." You know you can't edit
Yeah,
it, so it's like, "You know what? I don't have to worry about it." I do have knowing when I'm editing, I'm a lot harder on myself in the editing process than I am on the live process
yeah,
because, because I figured I can be authentic, I can be myself. If I make a mistake, it's like, "Oops, sorry." People
yeah,
understand, but when I'm editing and I'm putting the video out, I just feel like there's more criticism, and it's probably just myself that I have on myself.
yeah.
She's smaller, so it is harder to search her name, make sure it's all one word. Okay, yes. I'm sorry, I was just gonna get to that. Her channel is 5 foot nothing, and you put in five, the number five, um foot ft,
Yeah.
nothing, space, nothing, and it's real.
No,
And actually, if
perfect.
you put in the once you put in the five, she'll pop up really really easy and you'll find her. um it She has now, where are you at now with your subs? You are at 200 and something.
275, I think.
That's fabulous. In like
It's good.
just 2 months,
I'm
that is
really
very,
pleased.
very good. One of the
Yeah,
things that you were talking about in on our Discord group, because she is a member of our Discord group and Caleb Snell's Discord group, and I think you were afraid, or that you weren't doing well enough, but we were trying to explain to you you're doing really good, because I think you
yeah.
were expecting. I'm not sure. Or were you expecting just quick,
I
more subs, or you weren't sure?
I wasn't expecting anything,
Okay.
really. I
You were just trying to gauge.
Yeah, it was just yeah, I just wanted to know if I was sort of progressing at a normal rate
Y-
or
You're abnormal. You're fast forwarding, and your foot's on the gas, and you're going really, really quick. Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm blinkered to get there.
On there.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
When let's see. Um One of the things you said, you gave yourself certain challenges, and I think one of the challenges that you had said that you gave yourself was, talking to the camera and being present in there. What were some of the other challenges that you gave yourself?
Um, oh goodness. I think one of the things was sharing my collection of whatever. At the moment, it's Chanel. You know,
Okay.
I think I
Yeah.
mentioned in my last video that it's always bothered me that, it's being seen as showing off, instead of sharing, which is what all I want to do is just share
Right.
what I've got with other people. Because I think if you're lucky enough to have a lot of beautiful things, you shouldn't keep it to yourself. It should be shared.
I agree. Yeah. Your Chanel collection, there's always that whole thing about, oh, Chanel, Chanel, and I didn't grow up. I knew who it was. I knew more of who she was, because
Yeah,
I think there was shows on, and we were a real TV movie kind of family when my mom was, and so I knew the person more than I knew the fashion house kind of thing.
yeah,
But for me, it was never like, oh, Chanel, like I have to have it, and I really never grabbed the hype of it until you showed this last collection, until you showed the mermaid collection, and you
yeah,
showed the colors, and you showed all of that. I was like, it was like, whoa, I get it. I get it.
yeah,
I would pay like for those things that you were showing. I those would be one of those things where going, yeah, I can understand the money. Some of the stuff that's coming out now, and some of the stuff that I've kind of seen that I'm like going, but what you have, that your special collection, oh my goodness. I thank you, because I've never seen some of those. I haven't seen those in the colors. It's just
yeah.
like gorgeous. Do you have people like currently saying that in your comments, saying that you're showing off, or is that just a feeling that you feel?
No, it was just a preconception, really. It was
Okay,
me,
okay.
being concerned about how people are going to perceive it.
I'm
You
losing
know,
I'm losing you a little bit on your volume.
it was no, it was me that was concerned about how other people were going to perceive what I was doing.
got you. It was you concerned about how other people were gonna perceive you,
Yeah,
yeah. And, I think that that's probably just people in general who feel that way. Because I know I'll watch people who have, you know, huge collections, or more advanced collections, and I feel lucky that they let me into their closets, to show us and peek through. Let's see. I was trying to see if we have any questions. Can you check your volume a little bit? Can y'all hear her? I hear like a
okay. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, Cass, can you check your
There's not a lot I can do apart from I might
it's
just
just
have
all of a
to.
sudden I lost I can hardly hear you.
Oops. Okay. Oh, my technician's just coming in. Volume problem. Can we turn me up? I don't know. Is that any better now?
Yes, there is. There is.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Okay.
You
All
see,
right.
it's the first time I've used my phone for anything apart from a phone call.
Oh, really?
Seriously.
Well,
Yeah.
see, you are moving up in the world. You're moving up in the world. Let me see. Um,
I sound like such a tech dummy, but I've actually been using computers since the 1970s. You know,
wow.
I used to program big mainframe computers. And so
Yeah.
I'm a desktop computer person, not a phone. A phone to me is just a make a phone
To
call.
make a phone call,
Yeah,
do text. Yeah.
yeah. I always use desktop,
To do
always.
that. Yeah.
This is really weird for me.
And
You-
I have not used a desktop or a computer in probably about 7 years, I guess, because I've just used my iPad and my phone. That's all I've
Yeah,
used. Yeah. So
yeah,
if y'all have trouble hearing her or anything, y'all please let me know.
yeah.
Bergen Boy says that's my concerns too. Always, I just die if I came across as bragging in any way. Yeah, and I think too, it depends on how personally you you look at things and how you present yourself. So like Craig and Kaz, both of y'all come across as very endearing people, and your personality is not to be bragging. So that has a lot to do with it. You're not just being brass about what you're showing us. Yeah.
yeah.
Zane
Um,
has a question. Your accent is beautiful, but it doesn't sound like an Australian accent that he's heard before. Is that common for Sydney?
no, I think it's because I've lived in Europe longer than I've lived in Australia.
Gotcha. That's right.
I've lived in well, I was brought up in England, and I've lived in Italy, France, Ireland, and here. So I've moved around a lot. Lived a long time in Europe, in France.
So where was your favorite place to live, and why did you come to retire, or is your plans to retire in Australia?
Um, France was France was beautiful, but the bureaucracy was just a nightmare,
Yeah.
total nightmare. And the politics were just, oh no, we shouldn't really discuss that on YouTube, but they were, not good. And I came back here because my boys were here, and then as soon as I moved back, um, they moved, so, which is really ironical, but
Oh, really?
yeah, yeah.
So where oh no, well, I won't ask that. I was gonna say, so where are they at now if they moved back? Okay. They are hearing some kind of a feedback, so I'm asking Craig if it's feedback when I'm talking or if it's feedback when Kaz is talking.
Okay,
So
yeah, definitely. Birkin boy has definitely picked up on the English accent. Yeah, yeah, definitely
okay.
English.
Okay.
I mean, I lived there for 33 years, Then I came to Australia because my mother was English, my father was Australian. And I never really knew where I belonged. I didn't know if I belonged here or in England. I was sort of in between always.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep,
Started.
I think they're feeling the feedback is on my end. Ugh, I've never had that
Okay.
before. Um, let's see. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh,
Well,
wait, are you there?
yeah,
Can you
I'm
hear
back.
me or no?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you fine. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to let's see. Can you hear me? Okay. I'm going to try to move some things around. Is that better? Is the feedback better, y'all? I don't have an external mic, Zane. It's just me. I'm wondering if it's if it's too close. If it's too close. Okay, we'll try it that way. Okay, we'll see
Yeah.
how this goes. Is that better?
Oh, it's
It's still
still, still.
happening. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't got an external mic on because I couldn't
Yeah.
figure out how to set it up with the phone.
On your iPad, is the volume turned down on your iPad though?
No, I haven't got an iPad. It's
I
just
mean
a
on your
phone.
computer, on your computer?
Yeah. Oh, the sound's off. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
we'll keep trying to go. I'm not sure what it is. She does have her computer on, but I don't. Everything's the same on my end. I don't really have anything to change. So hopefully it won't be too bad.
yeah.
Um, let me go here and see. Um, question. I kind of lost my spot. Sorry. Okay, I want to go back to the two old being our topic are being old and too old for YouTube or just too old for the world kind of thing. Do you like to hear the phrases when they say a mature woman or a mature content creator or that kind of because that seems to be the new buzzword for
Yeah. I don't mind that. What I really hate is when people say, "Oh, it's a bit sort of granny-ish, isn't it?"
okay.
And I just, it's a pleasure and an honor to be a grandma. I'm really proud to be one. And I think, to say something, oh, it's really old-fashioned, it's really granny-ish. It's
Yeah.
just that is disrespectful.
You feel that's disrespectful? Yeah. I know, like, so when somebody says that it's granny chic, like, because I know that I know that, like, um, I'm not sure if you watch Jackie from Jack's Bag Attack, because she loves, and Craig, they talk about, the handbags that she loves, the granny chic, the granny handbags and stuff. Does something like that bother you, or it's just not that?
No,
It's
no.
just when they say
It's when people say it, and they know they're saying it in a
it
nasty way.
in a derogatory way. Yeah.
And
And
it's totally different. I mean, she's great. I love her.
right. And no, and I because um I don't mind her saying that, but it just has me thinking, when you're on the tubes now, you're sitting here and you're trying to make sure that you don't want to be offensive to anybody. You've got to stay kind of general. You got to stay kind of, there's all these things that that's how I live my life anyway. But
Mm,
there's also that over sensitivity of things, stuff. So I try to be even extra careful, to do that. And it's just kind of my nature anyway. So that's one of the things that I was thinking. But I know, like, when somebody says, "Oh, you're a mature content creator," because I've had some people say that, I'm always going, I don't know if I like that or not. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not. It kind of bugs me a little bit. I'd rather them say you're older, or or even if they say, "Well, you're old," I feel better. I just feel like for me, it's kind of the opposite. When I hear them say you're a mature content creator, I feel like that's more of a dig in my mind. But it's and it's just
yeah,
how you perceive things, I'm sure. But
yeah, it's sort of, I mean, I don't see why they have to put a prefix there at all.
right,
Why
right,
can't they just say you're a content creator?
right. She has great content, period, regardless of your age.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
You know,
I
you were
mean,
saying that it's a
that's
you're
putting the wrong sort of label on something,
right, right.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You were
it's
saying that you were proud to be older, and that was one of the things too I
absolutely.
had a live with Melissa from Melissa's Corner, and we were talking about age. I was saying that I was 55 last year, and I had my birthday, and I just discovered that my birthday that I would actually I turned 55. So the whole time I was 54, I was saying I was 55, and now that I'm 55 again. And so we got some comments of saying, "Oh, your women are giving their age," and I have always, my mom. I guess was privileged with my mom saying, don't hide your age. It's it's
Mm,
it's like you said, it's a privilege to be here because there's so many people who can't make it. And I know when my mom had passed away, she had cancer, and I walked her through that journey. And one of the things is there was so much dismay from the family as far as her choices she made because she chose to discontinue chemo. So I did a question of questions for her and had her answer it, and then I gave a copy to her brothers, to all the family and things. And one of the things I asked her was like, "What is your regret?" And she said that her regret was not getting to be old because the women in her family lived to be in their 80s and 90s, and then that was her regret. And so I think that's one of the things why what I liked and why I really enjoyed the fact that you came um
mm,
on the scene, on the YouTube scenes, because I thought, okay, you know, you're living a life that my mom couldn't have, and I try to make sure and honor my mom's memory and make sure that I don't waste my life because she didn't get to have hers, her live to the age. So I'm glad that you feel that way, and we are all fortunate to get your wisdom. I know somebody had said earlier, "Hi, Annie Hellenic." I'm sorry. How about just say Anne? How's that? She says,
it's
5 foot.
fine.
Oh,
That's
here
fine.
might try switching phones at a suitable juncture.
Right. He's given me another phone, but
Okay.
yeah.
Let me see, but let me go back and see if I can find that. Let me see if I can go back and find that the comment somebody made. Oh, Marilla, when we were talking about it, and I think it's appropriate at this time. She says you're showing your knowledge and appreciation of bags and brands that you won't come across as bragging. But I also think that also comes with your age too. That there's stuff that we don't think about. That we don't think about doing. We don't think about um, do you wanna try, logging off, clicking off, and then coming back in?
Yeah. Shall I? I'll change phones
Oh,
actually and see if
okay,
this one's better.
alright. Go if you need the link should still be good, use the same link.
Okay. I'll
Okay,
let you. I'll let you do it.
and we'll stand here waiting for you, and then I can test to see if on my end. Just go ahead and click on the X. Yeah, click on the X. It should be in the top left-hand corner. There we go. Okay, so do you get feedback when you hear me? I don't hear it right now, so okay, let's see if we can bring her back in. Hi.
Hi.
Yay. Did that help? I think that sounds like it helps.
Does that sound better?
Yes, much better. Yay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
That's good.
gone now. Yay, fixed. Yay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Good.
Woo.
Good. Yeah.
Okay, thank goodness. Yeah, I'm sorry because I know that she's had some great wisdom that we want to hear. Oh, that's another thing. Is like, do you like? Is that how is that? Tell me. You tell me something about the age and the ageism that maybe of the questions I'm not asking you that you want to let us know about.
Um, well, there's one thing I would say. You're only 55. That's not old. I mean, I'll be 70 soon. That's that's getting towards old.
Getting towards old, yeah. What is old
Yeah.
in your mind? What is old in your mind?
Um, 80 or 90.
Okay. I agree.
I
I
mean,
agree. Yeah.
yeah, I'm going for the 100.
I
You
want to
know,
be
I'm
there. I want to
really,
be there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
I want the 100K on YouTube and the 100-year birthday as well. Yeah, I'm
let's hope
really
you get
going
to the
for it.
100K way before you get to the 100th birthday.
I
So
certainly hope so.
So Kaz, 5 foot nothing. She needs everybody's help. Her goal is to get to 100K. She wants that silver plaque. And
I
she
do.
wants to go for the silver. And so if you say go for the gold, she wants to go for that silver plaque. So y'all
Yeah,
can help by subscribing to her, by watching her videos, by commenting, by sharing her content. That all helps. That all
and
helps.
thumbs up. Thumbs up is good. Yeah.
Oh yes, thumbs ups help. The thumbs
Mm,
ups help a lot.
yeah,
A lot. Birkin Boy says, "Oh, OMG, you look fabulous, just beautiful. Age is just a number." My dad
it
always said
is.
that age is relevant. Age is how you feel. So if you feel like you're
Yeah,
15, then that should be how. And I was like, no, we don't want to be 15. I never want to be 15 again. Um,
no,
Marilla
no, I
says we
don't.
have over 80 presidents who an over 80-year-old president who is running again. Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
is he? Wow, right. I didn't know that.
so we're all young. Yeah. Um, so we are definitely yeah, and I think I don't feel old, and because I think a lot of times now I think, oh, I remember when my mom was this age or my parents were this age. Because I know when I met
Mm,
my husband, we were about my in-laws and my parents were about this age, the age I am now, and I never thought
yeah,
of them as old, but I know my grandkids, and we have grandkids, and they're like, oh, granny's old. They're 8
yeah,
and 7. It doesn't bother me because they in their little world,
of
they
course.
don't,
Yeah,
but they
yeah,
also know she's old and she's a granny, but she's not as granny as as so and so's granny, because
yeah.
they're older. Yeah, they're older, but yeah, and I guess it just depends on who's watching you, who's talking to you, whose opinion is on there. I just try not to let it stop me, and I'm glad that you didn't let that inhibition stop you
Mm,
either. So we're all going to help you get to
thank
your
you.
goals.
I
Birkin Boy says,
appreciate that.
I'm 137, 345 years old as far as I feel. Yeah, there are some
Yeah, good
days
one.
and the certain time of the days. So right now it is Friday for Kaz, right? And what time is it
Yeah,
in your neck of the woods?
it's 2:30 in the afternoon.
2:30. All righty. Don't
Yeah,
forget, if y'all have any questions for her, please let me know. I'm trying to go back in the chats and make sure that I didn't miss any questions or comments um in there. So if y'all have any
it's
questions, please feel free.
it's very true what Steph was saying, that the 55, 65, 75 of yesteryear is not the same as today.
Yes, yes.
I mean, it is very, very different,
People are
isn't it?
living,
Really?
yeah, they are living differently. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know like my grandfather because he was a farmer, and so they were he unfortunately passed away young because he
Mm.
had diabetes and everything, but they were farmers, and it's like, they were 80, 90 years old, his brothers and sisters who
Mm.
had the farm. It's like the work seems to keep them young,
Yeah,
and because you were talking about what are we supposed to do, just to stop living, stop, you know.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, and I don't think that that's right. I think you just try to find something new to invent yourself with. And it doesn't necessarily have to be YouTube. It can be something else, and I guess I'm talking to all those who feel old, or all those who, think that they're old, or people are telling them they're old, or you have a life change or career change. You have to make yourself change along with whatever your situation is, and find
yeah, you
something to
do.
do it. Because if you don't
Yeah,
do right, do you agree? If you just sit there and kind of sulk about it and don't do anything about it, well, you're not changing your circumstances.
no, no. I mean, people who carry on working live longer.
Right.
I mean, it's a fact. It's
Yeah.
it's very medically proven fact. So, I mean, my problem was that I wanted to start a business again for a long time. So I used to have my own business, but because I'm partially disabled, it needed to be something at home, that I could do here.
Right.
And I couldn't think of anything until I saw that YouTube video. And I just thought, fine, perfect. I'll prove you wrong.
Do that. Yep. And
Yeah.
when I oh, Zane has a question. He says, so I'll get to your question in just a second. When I was looking at research after I had already started my channel, after I had started my channel,
Yeah.
I found the opposite of what you found. Was I found the fact
Mm,
that now was a time for people our age, and my age, your age, because of the fact that we have a little bit more time on our hands, and because of the life changes. You're retiring from a regular job, and
yeah.
that the YouTube and all the other social media things now, you have time to learn those, and so you'll be seeing a lot more content creators in that age group. So that's what I saw. So I thought, okay, well, I'm not so far out of my element.
Mm,
I'm glad I didn't see the one that you saw, because I might have paused a little bit more. Zane's
yeah.
questions is, what have you found to be the most difficult in making content?
Um, talking to the camera.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Because it's just like you're talking to nobody. And yeah, it takes me what I mean, hence all the bloopers at the end of my videos. I mean, I just totally lose it sometimes. You know, it's I mean, apart from that, I've got so many ideas for videos. I think I've written them down. I've got about enough for about 2 years, I think.
Oh, good, good. So
So many things.
so many things. It's just a matter of taking the
Yeah,
time to do it. Good. Okay.
yeah. I think
I
one one disappointment is that I haven't actually managed to connect with my age group.
Okay.
I was sort of aiming to connect with over 60 people. And looking at, on your analytics, you can
Right.
see the, age. Um, the older people, on my graph is like that, and younger people is like that, which surprises me, you know. And I think another thing I've learnt recently is that I wanted to try and combine flying with the sort of fashion and handbag stuff. And I was listening to Jacob yesterday talking to another YouTuber, and apparently, if you do that, the algorithm doesn't quite know where to put you.
Yeah.
Like one day you could be doing flying, the next day you're doing handbags, then it could be fashion, then it could be flying again. So I've decided to do a new channel about flying,
Okay.
because Scott and I love flying. I mean, I just adore it. I really do. And that's another reason for starting the channel, was to try and make an income so that Scott could retire sooner,
Yeah.
because he is 22 years younger than me.
Oh, so let's talk about that.
Yeah, that's been interesting. Yeah, people's
Now,
reactions to that.
okay,
Oh,
I want to know, like, my husband and I, he's younger than I am. I'm robbing the cradle. They're always telling me I'm robbing the cradle, but it's only 11 months, which was he's a school year younger than I was, so that was
that's
scandalous.
nothing. That
That's
is
so yeah,
nothing.
that was a little
Seriously.
scandalous. So we had a little bit of scandal, but not,
I
not
know.
to the extent, So tell us about that.
Um, well, it was really strange. We met online because my eldest son used to run a BBS, a bulletin board system,
Okay.
which I don't know if anybody will know what a bulletin board system is here. It's like a sort of a forum, that you could.
Right.
It was when we were using dial-up mode.
That
You
was
could log
yeah,
into
a
this
long time ago.
forum,
Yeah.
yeah,
Do any of y'all
and message
remember
people.
what a bulletin board was? So while we're waiting for their answers, go ahead, keep going.
I don't think they will. I mean, this was in the early 90s.
Right.
So we started chatting because there was a sort of a chat facility on the BBS. And I, I, I can't remember what we were talking about, but I said something like, oh, it's as mad as a hatter. And Scott said, oh, I know where that saying comes from. And I thought, tell me then. And he said it's because they used to use mercury to make the finish on the hat.
Oh, uh-huh.
Um, and it just really impressed me that he knew that obscure fact, you know. And my dad had always said to me that you'll never be happy until you find your intellectual equal. And he was so right. I mean, you know how when you're young, you don't want your parents to be right,
Exactly, yeah.
because, you know, you want to reinvent the wheel,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and we just hit it off straight away. And we met for the first time on his 18th birthday, and I was 39.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
And my eldest son is only 2 months old. Well, no, he's actually 2 months younger than my husband.
So how did that come over?
Not very well to begin with.
And
Not very
now?
well. Um, my children are okay about it. Scott's family, no,
No.
no,
And
not interested.
how about the world in general, like, friends and just people when you go out and about?
Um, it's okay now because he's going grey, and I've only got a little bit of grey here. He's got a lot of grey in his beard, so he looks
Uh-huh.
older,
So he looks
which
older.
is good now. Um, it's been difficult. I mean, people, not so much now, but when it looked like there was a bigger age difference, and it was really obvious, people always thought he was my son, and that was a bit weird,
You're right.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just made me feel a bit uncomfortable.
You get those looks.
Yeah, and it was funny actually, because when I met Scott, um, started feeling really strange. How can I explain it? I used to get this really strange feeling sort of in the pit of my stomach, you know, when I was talking to him.
Uh-huh.
And I just felt generally different. So I actually went to my doctor and explained, and said, I've been feeling really strange lately. I've got sort of butterflies in my stomach, and I'm feeling generally a bit weak, and sort of just emotionally, I'm just totally not right. What's wrong with me? And he said, have you met somebody recently? And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh my God, Kaz." He said, "I just give up with you, honestly." He said, I think you might be in love." And I get that feeling.
You're like,
No.
please, no way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because I, yeah, my parents' father and I weren't a good match. I'll just say that we weren't alike in any way. Yeah, but you know, life goes on. So yeah, so I'd never actually felt that before at all.
Ah, okay.
And the first time I actually saw Scott physically, I literally went weak at the knees, which I used to think was this stupid thing that people wrote in romance novels, you
Yeah.
know?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I saw him and I went weak at the knees and my heart started, but all this stuff. And it did actually happen. It's just, and it's been an amazing 30 years.
Oh, that's good. I'm so
Yeah,
happy for you and happy for him.
yeah,
Do you think that because now, well, you've heard the term cougar, right?
yeah,
Have heard that term? Okay. So
yeah.
so do you think now though, because that's the thing. So it's a little bit more acceptable now for a woman to have a younger man. But do you think you would have had that much trouble if you were a man and he was younger and had a younger
There,
woman?
there, there'd have been no problems at all. No
You
problems.
No problems. It was
No. I
yeah.
mean, we had a lot of problems. I mean, we went to my bank to get a mortgage to buy our first flat together. And I'd been with that bank I'd opened an account because they had a branch in London in England when I was about 8 years old. So I'd been with that bank for over 30 years. And we filled out a joint application, and the bank manager took it off us and looked at the ages and said, "Is your date of birth correct?" And I said, "Absolutely." And he said, "Scott, is yours correct?" And he said, "Yeah." And the bank manager just said, "I don't think so. I mean, let's face it, this isn't going to last, is it?" And I just, oh, very rarely have I felt like physically, slapping somebody across the face, but I seriously had to sit on my hands to stop myself doing it. I just thought, you know, if it was the other way around, it wouldn't have been a problem at all.
At all.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just like it's more common or more acceptable.
Yeah.
Grace Chen says that he woke up the feelings in you.
Yeah.
Um
He did.
and
He did,
yeah.
Grace. Totally.
And
Yeah.
then she also says there's always a lot less problems the other way around. And then Luxational says, "Girl, I've been with two older men now thinking they were supposed to be much more mature, but nope, false, 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 false." She's just
Yeah.
laughing out
Yeah.
loud. But yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, we're only a year basically. It was a
Mm.
school age, and
Yeah.
like when we were in college, because we ended up going, to college together for a few years, and so that really wasn't a big deal until because you look at us and we're basically look the same age. So it wasn't
Yeah.
until people would ask, and then it was all of a sudden like, oh, kind of thing. And I thought it's only 11 months. I mean, what is the big deal, you
It's
know?
nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I was always like, gosh, it's not like if he's 10 years younger than me or something like that.
Mm. Yeah.
But they would make a big deal about it. So it was like, but thank you for sharing that with us and
Oh,
trusting us
look.
with that,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry for that y'all had to go through, but you obviously made that bank manager out to be a liar because y'all have made it this
Yeah.
far. You've made it this
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We've had 30 years with about two arguments, I think,
The
in the whole of the
Together.
30 years. Yeah, he's an absolute dream to live with. Love him to pieces.
So y'all have been married 30 years?
We've been together for 30 years and we got married in 2000. So we've been married for 24 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my husband and I have been married 32 years in
Mm.
this year, and then we dated
Yeah.
5 years. 32,
Yeah.
34 to 5 to 6. So we've been together 37 years
Yeah.
altogether. So yeah, so I've known him more uh so I would tell his mom when she'll say stuff like I said, "Well, he's been with me longer than he was with you, so
Yes,
I,
exactly.
I think I might know him a little bit more than you do now."
Yep. Yep. I
She
agree with
hates
that.
that. She doesn't like that.
Yeah.
Boy says, "Ooh, in the US, that would have been a lawsuit." Yeah, sure, who would have. But maybe not at that time, though. Maybe not at that time of the year. I mean, of the,
Mm.
you know, what year it was. Grace Chen says, "Well, you met someone on the same wavelength. Yeah, life is short
Yeah.
anyway, so just
Definitely.
live your life." Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Bergen Boy says he is going to sub to 5 foot nothing. Love her. Yes, sir. Please do so. And
Thank
it's
you.
Kaz, it's KAZ. Sorry, I know I cut it off. KAZ. And five
It's
foot,
fine.
yeah. And so 5 foot, you're right at 5 feet. Has that always tell me about your name, your channel name. Your hand, yeah, the 5 foot nothing.
Oh, the 5 foot nothing. Oh, well, the no, about a year before I started the YouTube channel, for a couple of years, I was working with a group of people who are working with Imogen Heap on, it's difficult to describe. They're called music gloves,
Okay.
and they're sort of wired up,
Okay.
and it's like a Wi-Fi thing, and you can use them with a synthesizer or a keyboard,
Oh wow. Okay.
whatever, and you can, as you move your fingers, you change notes or you can change
Oh wow. Yeah.
keys or,
Okay.
you know. So we were developing these gloves. So I was working with them for 2 years doing that. And I had to think of a name, you know, in the group of us. And I just said one day when we were chatting, well, I don't know what to call myself. And somebody said, well, you're sort of fairly small and tiny. And I said, well, I'm 5 foot nothing. And he said, that's it.
That's the
So
name.
it stuck. Yeah.
It's a great name. It's a great name. Yeah. It's a great
Yeah,
name.
I
I
like it.
love that. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
okay, Craig. I just wanted to make sure that I since I wasn't pronouncing so you could understand, I wanted to make sure.
Oh, no,
Um
it's no. I have no issue with people misspelling my name. That's just, yeah, doesn't matter at all,
good
really.
good good for you. I'm a little picky. I'm a little picky.
That's
Well,
because you were so young.
you
Wait
know,
till you get older.
you're like, as long as you're still calling me up, you're happy, right? As long as you're still calling
Yeah.
me. You know,
Yeah.
we have a few things in common. We have the theater in common.
Mm,
If Dee Dee had led the life that she planned for,
mm.
was I was never gonna get married, I was never gonna have kids, and I was gonna live in New York and be a famous actress on Broadway because that's what I wanted to do. And so
Oh, really?
yes, in high school I was in the theater. Well, ever since middle school, I we had theater class, and I was in middle school all through theater class, and all through middle school, all through high school, and I entered college to be a my degree was theater arts was my master's, was going to be
Yeah.
my master. It was going to be my
Major.
major, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. And so that was my plans, and
Mm,
my husband now, he was my boyfriend then. I didn't want him to follow me to school because I thought for sure that we would be that classic, we'd break up, and when I went
yeah.
to college, since he was younger and everything. But the guy stuck around. The guy stuck around. And
Couldn't get rid of him.
even when I told him, I said, "I don't love you. I don't love you," although he knew that I
Mhm.
did. And that's why I always say that God intervened. He had his own ideas of what my life was supposed to be. And this definitely
mm,
was not what I wanted. And but when we went in, when you were talking about the theater, I went and I auditioned and stuff for the plays and stuff that we had. They did melodramas. I had never done melodramas before, so I really didn't know how that first season was. I didn't really know how to do that. I didn't know how to
yeah,
overact. I was more of a
mm,
dramatic actress. I really didn't know how to overact and stuff, so I, like, bombed the audition, and then
yeah,
they had, what was it called? All kinds of accents. I never ever could do any accents. It wasn't something that we trained for in our little school, you know. So I went from being a big fish and a big fish in a small pond to being into a big
yeah,
pond being a little fish, you know. So there was
yeah,
that shock. But I ended up being in because I had to have student aid. So I worked in the what is it called? The sewing, making the costume department. You know,
wardrobe,
so I did
wardrobe
sewing and everything.
department. Yeah,
Right. So then everybody assumed that I was a techie person and not a actress on the actress
right,
side. They thought,
mm,
yeah. So it was hard for them to see me when I would go audition because they thought that they would always see me in the costume department doing all
yeah,
that kind of stuff. And so that was kind of a little hard to do that. But ultimately I ended up leaving because of finances. I it was, difficult. I was in a lot of
yeah,
financial aid. I had to work 3 jobs. And so it was just kind of one of those things to where I couldn't
mm,
do the studies. I couldn't do anything. But I did that's when I talked about that on Caleb's live, I think last week, that I met Patrick Stewart from Picard, and
mm,
I got to meet him. I met Booth, Pat was it Pat Booth, Patrick Booth, or met him. So we
mm,
brought in a lot of actors to come in, and so I got to meet a lot of the people that I admired and everything. But yeah, so it changed,
yeah,
and then I moved back in, got to be my career. While I was administrative assistant is what I kind of fell into, and that's the career,
mhm,
customer service. So there was always that part of acting because you have to talk to customers, you have to make people happy, you have to
of
do all
course, yeah,
that kind of thing. And
yeah,
then we got married, and I was like, okay, we're getting married, not having kids for a year, not gonna have for kids for a year. Boom, on the honeymoon, got pregnant. And
yeah,
I was like, "What is it? Totally different." And so I left my dreams, put them
yeah,
aside to be a mother for motherhood, do motherhood, do the wife thing or whatever. And I have no regrets at all, ever
mm,
regretting. But I do feel sometimes, like, now I look back at it, the kids are older and things. I do feel a little sometimes taken for granted, or maybe that they don't appreciate uh what all I did and the sacrifices I did. Do you feel any of that way? Either, you
oh,
know,
look, I think all children are like that. Honestly, I really do, you know, I do. But I think your acting has stood you in good stead with YouTube because you're so confident. You know,
oh,
you've
thank
you've
you.
come across so well on camera
Oh, thank
that
you.
those acting skills are really useful now. I mean, they weren't wasted. You're using them.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to tell you. When you say you feel like you're talking to an inanimate object. I
Mm,
don't I don't. When I talk to the camera, I feel like I'm talking to you, or I'm talking to Zane. I'm talking to the
mm,
and maybe that's part of the whole training and the acting or whatever, because I do
yeah,
feel like when I talk to the camera, I'm not talking to the camera, I'm talking to the people in the
yeah,
camera. And which is a little hard. It's been a little I haven't recorded in here yet, but where I had my camera was in our pantry, in our pantry. And so there's like a little it was you know it's a little hole. And so
yeah.
that's the people were in the little hole, right there. My husband he'd always say, "Oh, you're talking to your friends in there in the little hole." And so now I'm going, "Oh, I don't have a hole. I hope I'm going to be able to translate that. I hope I'm able to translate that." because it's like, where are my people? Where are my people? But I
Mm,
know I made the mistake one time telling saying that I think it was during the whole lockdown stuff, and I had made the mistake saying, you know what, my time is over, and now it's your time, to take over, to make changes or whatever. And I
yeah,
didn't necessarily mean it in the like I don't count anymore, but I that's how it came across, and
yeah.
then it was kind of like my opinion didn't count. Have you made any kind of statements like that you regret? You know,
I, I don't have a single regret, not one.
good. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, hand on heart, I don't regret anything. I think because of what I went through, and I was telling you earlier about the
Yeah.
accident and
Do you
everything.
mind telling them what happened?
No, no, I don't
Okay.
mind at all. When I was 15, I I received a letter from the Royal Ballet saying that I had an audition. They wanted to audition me 4 weeks' time because they send out scouts to make
Right.
performances. You don't know. And I trained for 11 years as a dancer, and it was a dream come true. I mean, the Royal Ballet is
Yeah,
second
it's a
only to
big
the
deal.
Bolshoi
Yeah.
Ballet,
Yeah.
really. And 3 weeks before my audition, I was crossing a road. Funnily enough, I was rushing to get the latest edition of Vogue. I've always been into fashion. It's just ridiculous. I was running to get a magazine, and I got hit in the back by a motorbike. A young guy had just bought his bike, and he was speeding, came around the corner, tossed me up in the air, and I landed on the tarmac and broke four of my vertebrae, my lower back. And I say rehab, I mean rehab, not, you know,
Yeah.
rehabilitation, not rehab as it's called now.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I did 2 years rehab because everybody kept telling me I could walk again. And I just thought, you're totally wrong. I'm going to do it.
You're
And it
right.
took me 2 years, but I did it.
Good for
And
you.
I think that taught me at a very young age. I mean, I could have regretted crossing that road,
Right.
and just totally destroying my dream. Or I could have just picked myself up and thought, I'm damn lucky to be walking,
No kidding. Yeah.
and just get on with it, which is what I did. I didn't let that negativity in at all.
So how did you land in the theater world, the world of theater then? I mean, it sort of seems natural, but not really.
Yeah, I mean, I'd started training at Lambda because part of being a dancer, you have to do training as an actor as well,
Right.
because
Oh,
all you've
yes,
got,
yes. To do the
is your
emotions.
facial
Right.
expressions, you have to learn how to use your body. And so I was doing those sort of in conjunction. And I just went full time to Lambda and trained as an actor, graduated from there. And then luckily I got an Arts Council traineeship at a repertory theatre in the UK. The same one that Ian McKellen went to.
Oh,
He
okay.
trained there as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was about 4 years after him.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I felt right at home
At home
straight
doing
away.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was lovely.
So you're in
Just
like your version of Fame, like the movie Fame. Did you ever see that? The
yeah,
movie Fame? Yeah, yeah. Just like
yeah,
that. That's all those are what I'm conjuring in my mind when you're talking about it is that
yeah.
movie, yeah, doing that.
Mm.
Yeah. So how did fashion you were a dancer. I mean, and you're running across the street to get a magazine. Where did that come from? Where did that love of fashion?
It started when I was about 11 or 12, and Mary Quant came up with a mini skirt. It was really back at the whole
Right.
evolution of, fashion changed so drastically. Now, Bieber opened in London. I moved down to London because I had a gig with a
Uh-huh.
theatre down there, and I used to go and shop at Bieber, which was just incredible. But from the age of about 12, I used to sing in the church choir, and I used to go to the youth club afterwards, and I used to write down what I wore
Oh,
so that
okay.
I didn't repeat my outfits, you know, sort of week after week. And it was a bit like being, it was a bit like a fashion blog
Well, okay,
before
yeah.
there were any fashion blogs,
Right,
because this
right.
was in 1965, 1966. And yeah, there was just such a time of change, you know, it was so freeing from what our parents had dressed us in, you know, to suddenly see mini skirts and the whole boho thing from Bieber, the big hats,
Yeah.
you know, the feathers. It was really dramatic, and oh, it was just incredible. I wouldn't have missed it for the world.
It just caught your eye, and from there you were
Yeah,
hooked.
totally,
So
totally.
what was your first handbag that you bought, or what was the one that you had to save the money for that you just lusted for?
Um, you know, it wasn't even handbags at first. It was more clothes.
But the more clothes? Okay.
Yeah, the first handbag that really got me into handbags was a mulberry bag.
Oh, I
And
love
and
Mulberry.
it's funny actually, because I was reading about your pink mulberry, you
Uh-huh.
know, on Discord on the Mulberry channel, and I thought it's so strange because that sort of took me back in time 30 years, you know, to when I was buying mulberry, which I've still got a couple of that I bought then. Um, yeah, and I don't know. I mean, look, handbags. It doesn't matter how much weight you put on, how much weight you lose. You know, a handbag's always good.
They always fit you, yep. They always
Always
fit
fit
you.
you. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yep,
They'll always be by your side as well,
exactly, yeah,
regardless of what happens in your personal life. They're
yeah.
always there.
They have it's
Yeah,
like they hold your memories, they
they
hold your
do.
memories,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
totally.
I
Totally.
feel like because when I was younger, I think I've said this before, where if I had to buy a handbag or we call them a purse. A purse is what it was in
Yeah,
our days. If I had to
yeah.
buy a purse, it was like if I had to pay more than $10 for a purse, I was like devastated, and,
Mm,
and then I would keep that sucker until it just till use it because
yeah,
you had some money, other things to buy. You had to worry about, and
yeah.
in school and in college, everything was backpacks. You just had to you'd carry a backpack. So
Mhm.
it wasn't like the crowd that we were with in the because I was in the theaters and they didn't really care about that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
I mean, at least not in the groups that I was in. It's like it's just stuff to hold your things in, and the uglier it
Mhm.
was, the more ratty it was, the more that I guess people
Yeah,
admired it. It's like, hey, what did you go to the thrift store to get? And so I was like at
yeah.
home with my peoples because they were all the same. I was like, that's how I grew up. But they were, some chose to do that, and some, out of necessity, to do that and everything. So now it's kind of I'm kind of, a little bit backwards for some people. Is like now I'm discovering all these fashion stuff. I'm discovering all
Mm,
of this stuff. And it's actually it's neat. It's really it's enjoyable. And the reason everybody says, "Oh, you found like you have so much joy," because I think I appreciate it more than if I would have
yeah,
discovered it when I was younger.
yeah,
I
yeah,
have a little bit more appreciation for it. Yeah.
yeah.
Although I still don't do it. I still don't do the research until after I buy the stuff. Like I'm going, I don't know.
It
I'm
doesn't
bagging.
matter
Yeah,
as long as it makes you happy,
it's like
you
I know
know?
that I know it was called an Alexa, and I've been wanting that Mulberry Alexa forever, but I wanted the mini, and I said I just couldn't pass up that color, and I couldn't pass up the price, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't think it's a patent leather. Oh, maybe it's a patent leather.
Mm.
Yeah.
It was a good price,
It was a
really
good
good.
price. It
Yeah.
was a good price. So
Wow.
whoever was in the Discord, I don't know if I haven't been able to check. I haven't been able to check to see if anybody. I asked if whoever the original culprit was who posted it has confessed or not. But
I
yeah,
don't
thank you
know, I
very
haven't
much.
had time.
I know. Thank you very much. Thank
But
you very
yeah.
much. So Do you know your number as far as bags are concerned? I don't count. I refuse to count.
I know roughly.
Do you count?
I kn No, but
No.
I know because, you know, I've got cupboards. They're all in glass fronted cupboards, and it's in excess of 100,
So that
definitely.
hey, I think I know I have more than that. So that's not
Yeah,
shocking
well,
to me.
see.
So how do you decide? Because I know was it 2 or 3 videos back, I think you were talking about letting go some bags and you were telling us about why you're letting them go and things like that. Um what made you come to the decision you were gonna let some go? I mean, I just period, yeah.
Yeah, just because I saw a few new bags that I wanted to buy,
Ah, okay,
and,
okay,
you know, the ones that I'm selling, I hadn't used. I
okay.
mean, one of them was a Chanel, but the reason I sold that was because it was slightly marked, you know, and because I have OCD, I'm
Yeah.
really everything has to be in pristine condition, or I just yeah, I can't cope with. I mean, I know it's a silly thing, you know, it's just the way I am. But other ones that I wasn't using, I just thought, "No, I'll let them go." I mean, I've got duplicates of most bags anyway.
I think we all do, yeah.
Yeah.
So how does your OCD work with with YouTube? Like, are you having trouble, with the edit? Because on YouTube you have the bloopers and all that stuff. How is it going with your content and with all of that? Is it hindering or how's it doing?
I I think it helps.
Okay.
I think it helps when I'm putting a video together, when I've got the ideas for a video. I decided not to do the editing.
Okay.
Scott does the editing.
Okay. Okay.
I just do the filming and then I hand it over to him.
Good. Good.
And
Okay.
I just totally trust him to sort it out.
Okay. So then
Sometimes it's very messy.
that keeps that OCD part away from that. Well, that's good. Y'all are working as a
Yes.
partnership.
Yeah.
So that works out
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, good,
Yeah.
good.
We've always done that, you know. We divide things so that I do the things that I like and he does the things that he likes.
Yeah.
And between us, we get everything done.
That's
It's
important.
it's
Yeah.
easy.
We do the
Yep.
same thing too. Yeah, we do the same
Yeah.
thing too. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like tonight I cooked dinner, I cooked dinner and everything and he did the dishes. Not that he likes the dishes, but I despise them and he's like, "Ah, it doesn't bother me as much as it bothers you," so he does it. And he'd rather not cook inside. He'd barbecue outside and so, we share the
Mm.
we share the wealth of housekeeping that way
Yeah.
that way.
I don't cook
You don't
at
cook at
all.
all?
No. No. I can burn a boiled egg. I can really. I'm terrible.
I can cook simple things, not fancy things. I'm not really into the fancy things.
Yeah.
He does the fancy things. Like he's made beef Wellington. He's made he's got the
Wow.
patience for that. If it's more than
Goodness.
5 ingredients and it takes more than 15 minutes, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. I totally understand. Do you know, the first time I read a recipe, it said, you know, to put flour in and something else, and then it said fold in an egg, and I just thought, how can you
I can
fold an
fold an
egg?
egg.
You know, and I wrote an article about it. I got published called Egg Origami because I had no idea what it meant. You know, so I had to ring my mum up and say,
Say,
it says here that I've got to fold an egg, but you know, come on, you can't fold an egg. She said, oh, it just means, you know, stir it. And I said, why
stir it
didn't it
soft.
say that?
Yeah, I know why they
Yeah.
say that. We have Steph has a question. She says, "What are your
Oh,
favorite pieces in your fashion wardrobe?" Ooh, can you answer that?
um, in terms of clothing, I've got a 1930s beaded jacket
Ooh,
like an evening jacket, the
yeah,
short,
uh-huh.
fairly cropped sort of bolero, and it's hand beaded and it's absolutely stunning. And I
You have to
bought
show
that for
us, yeah.
£3 in England in a thrift shop.
Wow. You have to
Yeah.
show us that, you have to show us that.
Will do. Yeah, I will.
What is your favorite accessory?
Handbag,
A handbag? Okay, other
handbag,
that
absolutely.
so
Yeah,
other than a handbag, if I said if you were told said you cannot use a handbag, what accessory
right.
would you use?
Um, Probably a necklace or a pendant.
Necklace or a
I
pendant?
quite like
Okay.
pendants.
Do
Yeah,
you? Yeah. I don't know if I have what would be my favorite accessory? I think it would probably have to be earrings. I feel naked if I don't have earrings on.
yeah. I
I
was
can
going to
have
say your earrings are nice. Yeah,
yeah. Thank
yeah,
you, thank you. They're my 30th anniversary earrings that
yeah. They're lovely.
thank you. You know, it was one of those
Oh,
things with pearls because pearls, that it's like a statement piece or it's like an
hmm
old fashioned thing. And I was like, I don't want to wear pearls. And then there was a time where I wore pearls all the time when I was younger, and then so I've
mm
gone in and out of them, and but now right now it's like they're my favorite. It's my favorite. I
mm.
think it's because the
They're
sentimental.
very on trend at the
Thank you,
moment.
thank
Pearls.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. They're good.
Um, let's see. What are the chats talking about? They're talking about mulberry, um, Birkenboy. Oh
Oh,
man,
I've
I
got
have to.
a small Bayswater satchel. Yeah, I've got. No, in fact, I've got two of those.
You have two of those. Craig
Yeah.
wants to definitely see the beaded jacket.
Okay.
So you'll have to put in the Discord and then also do a thing for us.
Yeah, I will. I will.
And let's see. Well, over we are over the hour mark, but
Are we? Oh, wow.
yeah. I told you it's just like talking with friends. It's not,
I
it goes
know.
really quick, but I'm enjoying my time. I am enjoying get to know you. I want to make sure, hey, on the replay beauties, please make sure that you go and check out 5 foot nothing. It's five, the number five, FT space nothing. And is how
No,
you'll
no
find her.
space.
Oh, no
No
space. Oh,
space.
I'm
No
sorry.
space.
I'm
No.
sorry. It's all together. It's all
No.
together.
Yeah.
Once I post this in video form, I will link her in the description box, so you'll be able to find her that way. But it takes a little while for that to happen. So please
Yeah.
subscribe to her channel. Please go watch. She has lots of videos for you to
Thank you.
binge and catch up on. Um, do the thumbs up for both of us here. If you haven't given a
Mhm.
thumbs up today, I'd appreciate if you do that. If you
I was
haven't
just
yet,
going to say, thumb up the live for Dee Dee,
thank
please.
you very
Yeah.
much.
Do.
So I greatly appreciate it. So Kaz, tell us what you have coming up. Whatever you want to say in closing, and then we'll let you go so you can get on for your day. It's your day over there.
Okay. Monday and Wednesday next week, I've got some Chanel pieces
Ooh, I can't
that
wait.
aren't handbags.
There aren't okay.
Not handbags. And it's not jewelry. I've already done jewelry. It's
Right.
just bits and pieces that, as a collector, I've put together. Some are a bit whimsical, but yeah, I'll share that.
All right.
And
I
then
can't wait.
Friday is a bit of a surprise.
A surprise. I love
A
surprises. I can't
surprise.
wait.
Yes.
I can't
Yeah.
wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I try to watch every video of yours.
I know you do.
I got behind, when I went on vacation, but I'm trying to catch up. I think I got caught up now. I think I'm caught up now. But
You have. Yeah.
I watch them at least once, and sometimes I watch them more than once because I like to watch them and everything. So I
Yeah.
want to say thank you very much for being a guest, for agreeing to be a
Oh, you're
guest.
welcome.
Thank you so much for being on YouTube and taking the leap and for doing that. And we
hmm
will try our best to get you to your goal and to help you get to your
Thank you.
goal. You are welcome anytime that you want to come on.
Yeah.
I would be honored to have you on. So thank you very
Great.
much.
And Dee Dee, thank you so much for all your help.
Oh, you
You've
welcome.
been really amazing the last couple of months. You've helped me
Oh,
so much. Thank
it's a
you.
thank you. It's an honor. I enjoy helping other people, and when you said that
Me too.
you wanted to start a channel, I was like, here, whatever information. But
Yeah.
you're on it. You and Scott. I mean, y'all. I need to take lessons for y'all. I need to hire Scott. I need to hire Scott for your description box is on your
I
all your
know.
links and everything are on
Yeah.
par. I mean, you're way ahead of the curve here. You're way ahead of the curve. So we
Thank
just
you.
all need to catch up to you.
Oh, no, you don't. No, 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 no. Look, everybody's doing really well at the moment.
So
Really
you're
well.
doing fantastic. So don't give up. Keep that content. You said you have plenty of content in your brain, so
I
put it
won't.
out there.
Yeah. No way am I going to give up. No, not happening
All
ever.
righty. Thank you
No.
very much. You have a good
Thank you,
day.
JJ.
Bye
Yeah,
bye.
and thank you, everybody else. Take care.
Everybody's saying goodbye. Just hit the
Okay.
click the X and that'll get you out.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.
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 Excuse me.
Oh, thank you.
Bye, Scott.
Bye.
Well, let's see. She froze. I'm not sure. Well, it froze on her, but it's here, so I'm still here with you. There you are. You got to hit the X. Y'all
I
froze, so it
thought I
didn't
put it was
close.
close.
There you go. Yay. All right, Bean Beauties. Thank you so much for being here. This was so great. Grace Chen says it's a fantastic live and interview as usual. Oh, thank you, Grace. I greatly appreciate it. I was so excited about this live because when she talked to us in the Discord about wanting to start a channel, we were all like, yes, definitely, because she had already been talking to us about her pieces and just in general, her pieces and everything. But it's it's just so fascinating. I love to learn about other people and their lives if they're willing to share with us. And I just think it's great that we learn from each other and it's one of those things where especially with different cultures and different countries and how people treat each other or don't treat each other, and so I just really like to learn all that, and it's part of the new adventure that I'm trying to challenge myself with. So I want to thank everybody who still has stayed. There's 13 of y'all who have stayed here with us, and I greatly appreciate it. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry, but thank you, Steph, for being here. Grace Chen. We have Birkin Boy still here with us. Morella, thank you very much for being here. Let's see who's all still here. Y'all have had lots of conversations. I'm gonna have to go back and read all this. Let's see. We have some people probably who Zane or I think maybe I don't know if you're still here. Oh, welcome. Let's see. Yamala Moy. Hey, how are you doing? I'm sorry if I pronounced your handle wrong. And thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it. And welcome. Thank you for being here. And Caleb, I know you were here for a while. Thank you so much. Everybody else that came in, all you Bean Beauties who are here on the replay, thank you very much. Um, that's all the lives I have for this week. Next week, I do have some lives. Don't forget to check out the community post. I will have them in there. Let me go in real quick and let y'all know who I have next week, which it's the end of the month. So I do have 4 lives next week. So put on all those alarms on the 29th, which is Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I have Laura Camo Chico from Camo Chica, sorry, Camo Chica. On the 30th at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, I have Zane from the other half of Caleb Snell at 5 p.m. on the 30th as well. I have a double header on that on the 30th with Rael from Rael's Closet. And then closing up the end of the month, we are going to have a launch party for Craig Birkenboy. He will be launching on, believe, June the 1st. It will be his first video. I saw him saying, I forgot to say congratulations. He hit 100. He hasn't even started his channel and he's already at 100 subs. Yay! So he will be launching. So we will have a launch party at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Friday, the 31st. So yay! So come ready to party, come ready with some questions, and come ready just to hang out because we're just going to hang out for a while. So please check the community post. Go in and check the community post and my Instagram. Beanbeauti Bags It is Instagram. Beanbeauti Bags It at yahoo.com is my email if you need to reach out to me. And if you will do me the favor, if you're on the replays and you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm really trying hard to get to that 1,010 by this summer so that I can do the same as says her goal is. We're trying to get my husband to retire early, and I want a little bit of change in my pocket so that I can still keep buying handbags and being here for y'all. Grace Chen is talking to Birkin Boy 3. It's the handle Birkin Boy 3976 is Birkin Boy's handle. So is his channel name. Marilla says, great schedule. Thanks you. Thank you. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it. And I love y'all so much. Bye bye.